Hello, good people. Hello, how are you? Good evening and welcome, welcome, welcome. Thank you guys for those of you who will be jumping on live with us. Thank you to those of you who will be watching this by replay. I am super excited today, and the reason why is because this is the 1 year anniversary of the release of 38 Silencer. Guys, my name is LaWanda Will B LaWanda, and I am the author of that book. And I want you to know that I am super excited tonight because I have done so much work over this last year to not only deal with the trauma that I have experienced, but also to overcome it. And that is the reason for tonight's show. I want to be able to demonstrate to those of you who are watching just what it takes to deal with a traumatic experience in your own life, purpose to overcome it, and give you some strategies and some tools and someone that you can look up to that has accomplished it, done it, and is able to demonstrate good works as a result of it. So, again, my name is LaWanda Will B LaWanda, and I am a survivor advocate. Unfortunately, my story is not an anomaly. My story is not something that is not a known story all across the world. As a matter of fact, statistics tell us that there are 42 million people who are suffering the exact same trauma that I am in the process of healing from. And tonight, I want to share with you how I've been able to do that. Yes, I am a survivor of childhood sexual abuse. I want to pause right there because I have a tendency to run right by that and not really give individuals a chance to let that soak in. I, LaWanda Will B LaWanda, am a survivor and now an advocate of childhood sexual abuse. And I want to speak to the world to show them how they too can overcome that trauma and they will be able to get on the other side of it. So tonight, I am inviting one of my favorite interviewers in the entire world that I have access to. Her name is Angela Lewis Warren. And I'm inviting her in here today because I want her to take some time to ask me the questions that she wants to know about my healing journey so that you can also, so that we can bring you in on the conversation. Tonight, we are expected to be here for about 90 minutes, and there are a few people who will be stopping by as well. So I want to encourage you, fasten your seatbelts, get ready to hear some good information, and let's welcome to the stage Miss Angela Lewis Warren. Let the crowd go crazy. Ah! And the crowd goes wild. Angela, I don't have sound on you.
Oh, they said you muted me.
No, you are not muted.
All right.
You
Yeah.
look amazing tonight. Hello there, Queen.
Thank you, darling. So do you. I love your lip color.
Thank you. Listen, guys, this is my interviewer, my favorite interviewer, Angela Lewis Warren with the Be True to You talk show. And can I just tell you something? She has been with me from the very beginning. She interviewed me before the book dropped. She interviewed me during the book launch release last year, August the 22nd, and she's back tonight to do the same. So, Angela, take it away.
So hey, what's up, world? It's me, your girl Angela. I am the host of the Be True to You talk show, and I'm so excited to be here today to collaborate with my friend LaWanda Will B LaWanda. First of all,
Yes.
LaWanda, I want to say thank you for allowing me this opportunity to share with you. But you guys, I want you to go ahead and do what we do. Go ahead and like, go ahead and comment, go ahead and share, invite someone in. So invite your mama, your sister, your cousin, your auntie, your brother. I am sure it is someone in your family have experienced this, whether it happened to them or someone they know. And I do believe that LaWanda have tools to help you move gracefully, because that's what I see, LaWanda. I see that you move through this journey gracefully.
My
And
God.
so, you guys, jump on in, please. Don't be shy. Leave your comment, and we're just gonna have a conversation. That's what I do. I have conversation, and I'm so grateful again to be able to have this conversation with you. Now,
Thank you.
you did say that I was here before, in the middle, afterwards, and I'm still here. And I want you to know that I'm here for you.
Thank you.
There is a word that describe those things that you endured through this journey. And can I ask you, if you had to give me one word, what would it be?
Whew, you know what? Thank you for that. And just for our listening audience and those that'll be watching the replay, I want you to know that I do not know what Angela's about to ask me. This is totally on the spot. We have not rehearsed this script because we wanted it to be natural and off the top.
Mm-hmm.
So if I had to use one word to really describe this experience, it has been enlightening.
Mm.
Enlightening.
Okay. On your behalf, enlightening as far as the ones that's involved. When you say enlightening, like I always say, let's talk about that. What does
Let's
that
talk
look
about
like
that.
to you?
So, when I say enlightening, Angela, honestly, what I mean is that it has been enlightening on the good side, and it has also been enlightening on the bad side. I'm going to tell you something. You find out who people really are when you go through something.
True.
You find out who people really are. And for me, I have had to juggle many losses.
Mm-hmm.
I've also had to juggle many, many, many joys and many advances and many additions to my life. But I've been able to see how the story helps heal, how the story helps bring closure. I've been able to witness and watch those things happen. So for me, enlightening has a both a positive and a negative connotation for the things lost, but
Mm-hmm.
very positive for the things that have been gained.
So true, so true. I did a post the other day, and this your journey remind me of my post. My post was casualty of war.
Mm,
Sometimes you are a casualty of war, and sometimes because of your journey to heal, your journey for peace, your journey for closure, some other people become casualty of war.
yes.
But it's so necessary. And so have you, I'm sure you have, but were you prepared for the casualties of wars that you was going to experience, that you are experiencing?
Yeah, because it is an ongoing process. I don't want anybody to think that me coming out with this story has been done easily. It was certainly not done haphazardly. It surely wasn't done without first counting up the cost. And I knew categorically that I was going to tick some people off.
Mm-hmm.
Knew categorically that there were going to be some people who were going to be expressly angry with me because it's not so much that the story is not true. It's just that there were a few people who just didn't want the world to know.
Mm-hmm.
And I get that. So when it came to those casualties, yes, I anticipated and I expected there. However, what I didn't anticipate was a year later to still have those relationships in turmoil and damage and without any resolution, an attempt to resolve, just continuously being very adverse to the entire situation that they know is true.
Yeah. Uh, I think about our interviews, right? And I think about our conversation when you come get your hair done. And I remember in the midst of you writing the book, you said, I can do hard things.
Yes.
I can do hard things.
I had to convince myself of that. When I was writing that hashtag, and I signed all of my books with that hashtag, I can do hard things because this was hard. And when I was prophesying that, I was speaking that over my own life to remind myself that, girl, you can do this. This is going to be hard. It's not going to be received well, but you can do this. And not only can you do it, you need to do it because there are other people who are trapped the same way you were trapped without any hope. I
Okay.
can do hard things.
So listen, hear me. I hear you saying I can do hard things. You know it's gonna be some damage, catastrophic, you know, that big old word that you like to use because you don't have the major words. In that, when you said you can do hard things, did you expect that although you had prophesied to yourself, although you had tried to prepare yourself, because you're gonna prepare yourself for so much, did you expect that you was gonna have those moments that you couldn't get out of the bed?
I think that because I was on that journey, I allowed myself to stay in the bed if I needed to.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, I knew that there were going to be some hard days ahead and some rocky roads and some challenging moments. I knew this.
Mm-hmm.
I knew it was going to be difficult.
Mm-hmm.
And so when those days happen, that depression that we're talking about, that oppression that we're talking about, when they happened, I gave myself permission to lay in the bed and deal with it the best way I could.
Mm-hmm. You
Yeah.
gave yourself grace.
Yeah, that's good. I gave myself grace.
Because we
It's
give other people grace, but it's hard for us to give ourselves grace. So you get
absolutely 100%. It's difficult for us to be forgiving and loving and caring to ourselves. And you'll notice that we're on this major trajectory right now of self care. Self care is the buzzword for 2025. We are really focusing on self care. And so, yeah, I gave myself permission to take care of me.
Mhm. Yeah, and that is necessary. You know, some people say you're selfish. Some people say, in the midst of your journey, in the midst of you sharing your story, in the midst of you trying to get healed, in the midst of you wanting to become whole, you're selfish because your wholeness causes others pain. And so for someone who experiencing what you're experiencing, where you was silenced for 38 years, dying on the inside, you know, not even growing in areas of your life,
Yeah,
because there's one part of your book that I read, and I'm not going to tell you a book, go get the book, okay? But there's one part,
it is still available.
yeah, okay, go get it, okay? There is one part in your book that you said, I'm going to paraphrase it because I don't remember everything, to the point where you were so wanted to please somebody, right?
Mhm,
You
mhm.
so wanted to make them happy to the point of part of your personality became, for lack of a better word, clownish, right?
Yeah.
So, do you see that part of your personality still showing up, or have you been able to release that from your inner?
Very, very good question, Angela. And I appreciate that question because you're correct. You know, when you're in a situation where you are trying to please the predators of your story, for the sake of preserving legacy, for the sake of, keeping everything tight and right, when you're in that kind of position, you'll do anything. Like, what would you do for a Klondike bar?
Mhm.
I was definitely in that posture, because I wanted to make them happy. We call that people pleasing. And so people pleasing became a major part of my life as I was going through that. Actually, that situation trained me how to be a people pleaser. You understand? There are people who get all kinds of lessons as they are growing up. My lesson was how to please people
Mhm.
and to ignore myself. And it was such a crazy experience because who does that? Like, who doesn't feel pain or who doesn't have trauma immediately in response to a story like this? But somehow, some way, I was able to override my own emotions to take other people's emotions into account for a plethora of reasons: love, uh, loyalty, acceptance. There were so many reasons why I made that decision because it was clear at the very beginning of this thing that if I didn't do that, then I would be experiencing then what I am experiencing right now: betrayal, abandonment, loneliness. And who wants that? When you're a young person, when you're a child, when you're trying to raise children, who wants to be isolated like that? So I had to make some cognizant decisions. I had to make some real tough choices. And that was to bury LaWanda and go ahead and go along with the program. It was a tough decision.
Yeah, and I think about that, but now that you have come to realize that you were at one point a people pleaser, and that's what a lot of people don't understand. A lot of our trauma, a lot of our rejection, a lot of our needing to be validated starts in the home. It has a lot to do with our worldview, how we was brought up, the things we saw, the things we heard, that kind of form who we are. And so, with that being said, knowing that you will stand silent for those reasons, knowing that you suppress your pain, now, LaWanda, are you able to embrace your pain? Are you able to sit in your pain? Are you able to confront your pain?
100%. And that did not come easily. That came from really toiling with myself. That came from going to therapy, and not just going to therapy, but completing my therapeutic journey.
Mm-hmm.
It came from telling myself the truth. At some point, you just got to tell yourself the truth, man.
Mm-hmm.
You can't keep pretending like what happened didn't happen. And, you know, and it really wasn't even my choice to come out here like this. It happened as a result of a trigger. But that's what happens when you don't deal with stuff that you need to deal with. You don't know when that trigger is going to happen. It can be a song, it can be a smell, it can be somebody that looks like somebody. You don't know what is going to trip you up or when it's going to trip you up. And so for me, it took 38 years for that to trip me up to the point where I'm now regurgitating the story and I cannot contain it.
Yeah. When I listen to you say 38, right? And I look at your cover and I see what you're showing on your cover.
Mm-hmm.
And what you're showing is a 38.
Yes.
But how odd or how ironic that it took you 38 years to
Yeah.
share the story of your 38.
You know what? I believe that that was all God's plan,
Mm-hmm.
because when I look at that similarities for myself, I'm also amazed.
Mm-hmm.
I had to go and count from the moment of the trigger. I had to go and count, like, wow, how many years has it been since this whole thing happened? And it happened to be 38 years. And then I remembered that 38. And so it's ironic, but it's also prophetic. It
Mm-hmm.
makes me feel like this is where I was supposed to be the entire time.
Okay, so what you're saying that which people don't understand, um, uh, sometimes pain is necessary. And on your flyer, you say from pain to purpose.
Hmm.
But you can have those people say, I think we talked about this, but I want to talk about it again because I think this is really, really important. It happened 38 years ago. Keep it to yourself. It happened to 38 years ago. It's over and done, right? All you're
Yes,
going to do is drum up pain. Uh,
yes,
how do you move knowing this situation happened 38 years ago? But for 38 years, you had a great relationship with those, you know, those, this one and that one and that one and that one. You know what I'm saying? You had
yes.
a great relationship. And now, 38 years later, someone even born when this situation happened. So, how do you feel where people feel like you came to destroy somebody. You came to destroy us. You came to shame us. You came to embarrass us. You came for fortune or fame. Because truth be told, some people may feel like you're telling this story for money.
Yeah. And believe it or not, that is one of the primary indictments that those on the other side of this story have.
Mm.
They see dollar signs, but what they don't see is a healing process. So, to be honest with you, I would have took this secret to my grave
Mm.
for the very reasons what you just said. I had a great relationship with these individuals. Was it fake?
Perfect.
No, was it fake in some ways? Yeah, because there was some stuff that I didn't like, but you learn how to chew the meat and spit out the bones. Like you figure out how to sidestep certain situations, certain conversations. I had an entire regimen of things that I did to protect myself that nobody else even knew I was doing,
Mm-hmm.
because I knew that I was going into the lion's den, but at the same token, there were things that I did, like I didn't dress a certain way.
Mm-hmm.
There were things that I did, when certain people left, I left. There were certain things that I did whenever I would be in those situations, because I wanted to keep that air of, ain't nothing going on here, in the, it was necessary for me to do that,
Mm-hmm.
because I felt like I had something to prove.
Mm-hmm.
And I wouldn't have brought it out if it had not been for the unfortunate fact that the predator of my story became a permanent fixture in my family. And as a permanent fixture in my family, I am now interacting with this individual on a regular basis. And since I'm interacting with them on a regular basis, we've developed what we call a cordial relationship.
Mm-hmm.
And it's weird to me, because it's almost as if my body turned off the reality that I was molested by this individual as a child.
Mm-hmm.
My whole purpose became making sure that I was able to get along with everybody in that situation. So I dulled my own senses so that I would feel like I could belong to this core group, because they're important to me. And
Mm-hmm.
even though everybody knew, I just felt that need. And the truth of the matter is, I wouldn't have brought it forward had that individual not reviolated in 2022. We were smooth sailing, baby. This secret was locked and tucked away, and the key was like, we had to go look in the kitchen junk drawer to find the key. We didn't even know where the key was at. We had to go search for that thing. But that trigger in 2022 is what blew the lid off of this story and put me in a situation where I now had to make a decision. Am I going to tell the truth, or am I going to continue to lie about what hurt me and injured me again? I
Yeah.
decided to tell the truth.
Mhm. I think about every so often I call, I check on you, I be like, you good, because I can't imagine, right? And a lot of us can't, and a lot of us can. A lot of us can't do what I say, put on our big girl pennies and do the work. And so I asked you the one word that describe your journey when you're looking in. When I look at you, when I look at your journey, I see courageous. I see strength. Uh, I see, most of all, yeah, courageous. I see strength. I see that. I can see that it's not easy. I can see that you have those moments. And so, with me saying that, a year later, right? And I'm sure people. I'm just being a debit advocate. You shared your story. You wrote a book already. Why not just shut up about it? And I say shut up about it because it's like literally I can hear, why don't you just shut up about it? So why not just shut up about it?
You know what? I appreciate that question, because for me, and I wrote this in a post, I think maybe yesterday, the book was assurance that what was hidden inside of me would no longer could dwell inside of me.
Mhm.
Speaking out about it, having these conversations, posting on a regular basis, doing advocacy work, that's my insurance. It's my insurance that it stays out. So I had assurance that it got out, and then I now have insurance that it stays out. It would be easy for certain people to talk me back into the prison of silence. I refuse. Because at the end of the day, we all have choices that we have to make. And there is a time and a place for everything under the sun. And right now, it is time for us to tell the truth and shame the devil.
For real though.
Uh-oh. We've got somebody at the door.
We got company.
Or wait a second. Let's see. We've got somebody coming in to say hi to us. Oh my gosh. I think I know who it is. Guys, I want to welcome to the stage two of my amazing individuals are coming to talk to us today. We have two individuals that worked with me in a women's support group. It wasn't just for women, but in a support group that was called Ladies Let It Go. I guess it was for women because it was entitled Ladies Let It Go. And we ran the support group for about a year, and they are here to talk to us today. Welcome to the stage, Miss Lavi. And our amazing clinician, Doctora Tasha.
Love it. Love it. Love it. Lovey, I love your hair color, darling.
Thank you.
Okay, it got extra grown up there, ain't it?
Oh my God, ladies, thank you so much for stopping by. You both know who Angela is. And yeah, man, she is going to be talking us through this thing. And I am so glad that both of you are here. So let me just let Angela talk. I'm so thrilled. Thank you for coming.
First of all, you guys, let me be professional. You guys, if you don't know Dr. Tasha, I need you to follow her. I need you to connect with her. I need you to get whole and healed with her. Okay, that's for real. And Lovey, I don't know. It's some people that's in your area that may know how to, need somebody to. Okay, connect with her. Okay, you're in Texas.
I am.
Okay, y'all. If y'all need someone to sing like a bird, okay, and I'm not talking about a crow. I'm talking about a real bird that can sing. Call it at La Vie.
A hummingbird.
Yeah. But you guys, first, Dr. Tasha, I know you were a very important instrument in unlocking those secrets in LaWanda.
Mm-hmm.
And so a year later, can I ask you one question? When you see this journey, when you see her move through this journey, if you had one word to describe it, what would it be?
Oh, that was easy. Thinking about the word came very natural to me. The word was equipped.
Mm.
Equipped.
Mm-hmm.
He's now equipped.
Okay.
I'll tell you about the word equipped. It's kind of interesting. I looked this thing up. Equipped means to be prepared mentally and emotionally.
Okay.
To have what you are supplying is actually necessary for whatever the particular purpose. You're supplied with that necessary thing. She's got the it to actually fulfill the purpose. And lastly, I love this one. Armed, stocked, and appointed also describes what equipped is. Wow. So all the years that she was silent, not even knowing that she was silently also getting equipped, able to stand in her purpose today. And now can't nobody get it quiet.
Yes.
That part. And Lovey, what word would you use to describe this journey that you see her walking through?
You know, I love how connected we always are, even though we are all, even though we are like separate, right? So
Yeah.
my word, I was thinking about it. I'm like, what would I, describe LaWanda as being? I would describe her as being charged.
Oh,
Mm.
So when you think about anything, your phone, your laptop, anything being charged, there's a process where you have to put it down and you have to leave it. Like, because if you charging your phone and you're staying on it, you're not going to get maximum, you're not going to get what you need, maximally, right? So if you put it down, you leave it and you allow it to charge, now it's on 100%.
Mm-hmm.
Now you can take it off of the charger and now you can move about and you can go and do what you need to do and you can be productive. You know what I'm saying? You can do what you need to do. And I think that that's what I think about when I think about LaWanda. I think that she is charged. She is full. She's ready to go.
That's
wow.
good.
Okay,
That's
so
good.
so Dr. Tasha, I want to piggyback on LaVee's word. Now that she's charged and she's running and she's moving and she's writing and she's sharing, how does she stay charged?
How does she say
She's not burn out.
my friend is smart over there in Texas. You see what I'm saying? Because it's interesting because when you are charging, you have to connect to the source, right? Which she was years quietly. That's what I mean. So that's the quiet stuff that I'm telling you about. Sometimes after she was then pulled from the wall, she can now, not that she's going without God, but it's just that now God has equipped her.
Mm-hmm.
Her 100%. And it wasn't just go to church. It was prayer. It was being around the fellowship of the saints that will hold you accountable. It was sit yourself down on the couch, right? And surrounding yourself with those that will hold you accountable to what
Yeah.
actually is of walking in your purpose. And so I love that word. Charge is a great word. Because when you charge yourself to 100, because some of us take it off prematurely,
Surely.
y'all 6%ers walk here,
Yeah.
at 12%, and then it turns red. Talking about you already know how long before you need to charge it again. So you
Yeah.
always run. It's lame. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
The regular way that you live life, it's not a good look. Like you're really never even your tank ain't even half full. Like see what it's like to actually sit down somewhere, take care of the things that need to be unlocked,
Come on.
and then look at what it's going to be. Because the truth is, she can't go backwards. That's the craziest thing. Once you hear, you cannot like unlearn what you kind of stayed silent about. Like she can't unlearn all these things that have come with this last year or two. Um,
Yeah.
that's great, but you do have to. The source, staying in the source, is with the Lord and possibly with a clinician that'll
Right.
get a little fire under your tail.
Right. I like that because some, we charge our batteries and some of us do get to 100, but some of us use that battery until it runs back to 12, back to 7. And so I love how you've given her example of how to stay charged in the midst of you running, staying connected, having the right people around you, making sure you're being a health accountable, and sometimes just learning to sit on the couch. Honey, the best thing you can do.
Oh, you
on the couch. Okay. Down on the couch. Okay. Go find you one. Okay. And set up.
Listen, there were times when I wasn't on the couch. There were times when I was on the floor.
Hello.
Yeah. And so I'm what you said, Dr. Tasha?
nothing wrong with a little floor ministry. Mm-hmm.
Okay. Threshing floor, honey, it is so necessary. Come on, it is so necessary, honey. Sometimes you got to get down so you can do what? Reach the garment. Don't get me started. Okay, never mind. I'm okay.
We are church people. This is what we do.
So Dr. Tasha, in 2025, this is still such a major issue. How do we put a dent in it? How do we make a difference? How do LaWanda's story move past family, move past friends, and make a dent, make people more aware of the secrets that's killing us?
So I would say continue now that she's worked through being uncomfortable and sharing and the vulnerability and sharing because she's now vulnerably strong. That like in the sharing, you actually it almost becomes contagious because others around her will then oh wow, that happened to me too, right? And then they may not know all of the language to use, as in like, what does healing look like? Will it hurt? Yes, it will.
It will hurt.
It will.
And what will they say once you confront them? They may not like you. You may
Yeah.
it to the next Christmas, the entire vacation that they invited you to last year, you may not go this year.
Right.
Know where everybody is now going to eat. Like, it hurts, right? So it feels lonely, but then there's that part, like there's that dignity where when you do look in the mirror, you know you're doing the best that you can. So for what it did in it is to make other people feel uncomfortable by telling the truth.
Yeah.
Make them feel in a beautiful. I do it every day. I don't mind allowing people to feel comfortable, right? Because it's the problem that you feeling comfortable being whatever you've been. That's really the problem. So let's get uncomfortable. And then the idea is, I like to talk about the predator. You see what I'm saying? We always talking about the person that was the prey. If you know that you things that you're feeling guilty and ashamed for, that's actually keeping you drunk. I said it, right?
Talk.
And smoke.
Yeah.
And I to go to sleep, right? Because you are holding some secrets of what you did versus to you. And so get honest with yourself and call somebody and sit on their predator, right? Even need to be. So it ain't just a when something happened to me, because that's all real. And don't allow people to dismiss you, because you already did that. We can check that box. Have you been dismissed after telling the truth? Yes, 38 years ago. And so does it matter when people dismiss you now? Not as much. It's a strong muscle, like, oh, who's next? Anybody else want to dismiss me? Because I'm right. And so for those that want to get honest with themselves, it's so nice to live on this side. It's just like you really do sleep differently. You
It's true.
Yourself, the people you continue to surround yourself with. I know Lavi knows about this. When you get set free, can you talk about that? What does it feel like once you get set of like, not being silent and the fear of being dismissed, if it's family or friends, by just walking in your truth?
I love it.
Well, you definitely gonna sleep better. I think that there's a confidence that you get when you are just being bold and authentically you and
Amen.
honest with yourself. And there's a light that shines through you, and people are attracted to that light. And so when people start to get attracted to that light, piggybacking on how you're going to spread, how is it going to get past that? That's where it happens.
Oh.
Another guest. Let me put my glasses on. Who is this?
Somebody else is at the door. Listen, we gotta wrap it up, Dr. Tasha Lavi. Thank you for coming and encouraging.
Sharing your message.
Lavi, blessings to you. I wish you nothing but success in your new journey. And Doc, no, I love you, girl.
Love y'all too.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you, ladies. See you later. Bye. Oh my goodness gracious. I'm going to take Lavi and Dr. Tasha off of the screen. And I'm so glad that they took an opportunity to stop by and see about little old me. And listen, what an amazing experience in encouragement to know that my word from Dr. Tasha is equipped and that my word from Lavi is charged. I am super excited to hear how this whole thing is going to work out. And keep in mind, guys, I do not know what is going to be said. So this is really affirming to me. But right now, who's at my door is somebody incredibly special to me. Her name is Tangela Cummings. Now, if you are in the Jacksonville, Florida area, you will hear her on the radio, iHeartRadio, as the traffic reporter. Or is it weather or traffic? She'll tell me when she comes up. But she is on the radio. She is an amazing advocate. She has her own story to tell. And she and I have been in constant contact over the course of these last few months, talking about our stories and encouraging one another. So, ladies and gentlemen, please welcome to this stage, Miss Tangela Cummings. It is also DJ Miss Tan. Hey, girl.
Hey, girl, I'm gonna get you.
Hi.
What's going on?
How you
I'm
doing?
Angela. You know, I haven't never met you, I don't think per se, but listen, your skin is skinning, honey.
Girl, that's that new Maybelline. I ain't trying to get them no
Maybe it's
credit for this,
maybe
but
it's
I
Maybelline.
just tried it. Yes,
Okay,
girl.
the match is matching.
Because I'm not a makeup girl, but I did good on Amazon.Prime.
I love Prime. But thank you for joining LaWanda. Thank you for being a part of her journey, because we all need a community. We all need someone who can relate to what we experience, or some form of compassion as well as empathy, not feeling sorry for her, but able to be a strength, a win when she needed. The last year that LaWanda has been through this journey, give me one word to describe what you saw in LaWanda this last year, or what you see in her.
Nah. Don't get to smiling. Let me see. One word.
Yes.
One.
Crazy.
Okay.
Look at
Okay,
that face. Now let me explain.
Yeah, please do. Please do.
So crazy can be offensive,
Mhm.
inappropriate. If you refer to someone that's crazy, you're like, what do you mean? But she has a different meaning of the word. It also has a meaning of extremely enthusiastic. Look it up.
Mm.
It can express a strong liking or passion for something. And that explains LaWanda now, doesn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Crazy also describes something that's unusual. What a crazy idea.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what people thought that she had. A crazy idea. Why would you want to expose these types of things? But look at the goodness that this craziness has had.
Mm-hmm.
Mm.
Perception is reality. So it's how you look at a certain word. So my word for you, my dear, is crazy.
I kind of like this,
I
Ted.
do too. Listen, because you know, LaWanda, who she is, she had to have crazy faith. Okay, she had to have crazy trust. She had to have crazy movement, right? Because this is not the norm. This is not something simple that any and everybody can handle this. Okay, you had to have some crazy strength, honey, to stand on these things that you are enduring. And so I just think that word, you did that one, sis.
You did. You know, it's funny to me because I'm sitting here thinking, I'm like, Tan, did I call you Tangela?
You certainly did, but that's because, but I'm going to tell y'all why. Nobody knew my name for years. I was a DJ. Everybody knew me as DJ Miss Tan. They call me Miss Tan. So now that my government is out there after all these years, I get Tanya, I get Candy, I get Tanya, I get Tangela, I get them all. So, hey, no offenses, none at all.
So I know the reason why I did it, because Angela is my host and you are Tan, and I put them together, and I'm like, I told y'all I said, listen, this is a live show, so bring your sense of humor, because and that was one of those mistakes. So Miss Tan, listen, I want to talk to you quickly about your wonderful shirt that you're wearing, the hashtag It's Okay to Live. And listen, guys, Tan has her own story that she has had to work through and deal with and struggle with, and brick by brick, piece by piece, rebuild her life after the passing of her son. And so she has created the It's Okay to Live. We are connected because both of us have lost our boys. And so that is the one thing that really brought us together. But then just dealing with the trauma that comes along, the grief that comes along with that, has caused us to be able to create a unique bond. So when you tell people it's okay to live, tell us what you mean.
So if anybody knows you, you are a prime example of that. You said it. We lost our boys. And the worst thing that a mother can experience is the loss of a child.
Yeah.
There's not even a real word for it. If you lose your mate, you're a widower. If you lose your parents, you're an orphan. But when you lose your child,
what are we?
You're just the mother, you poor mother that lost a child.
Yeah.
So we didn't even know that was our bond when we first spoke. But eventually it's like, what? So It's Okay to Live is teaching initially moms to live with that grief. It comes with a heavy heartache, a heavy amount of guilt, a heavy amount of losing that perseverance that you have on a daily basis, right? Then on top of that, life keeps lifing.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing cares that we lost a child.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Nothing cares of the things that you went through earlier in your life. And I know sometimes you're like, Godly Lord, didn't I have my share? But guess what you still do? You still living. You are
Yeah.
not just alive. There are
Mhm.
many angel moms that are just alive. There are many angel dads that are just alive. They're barely making it in this world. So as a DJ, I feel that music heals. So
Yes.
initially, 4 hours at a time, I could forget about that pain and make others happy. Then I noticed that my daughter suffered the loss of her best friend. So
Mm-hmm.
then it put it in that atmosphere, siblings who lost siblings. Because who says something to the siblings? If you lose a child, they're going to take care of the mother, they're going to take care of the father. But then the siblings kind of get lost in the mix. The
Yeah.
cousins get lost in the mix.
Mm-hmm.
The aunts and uncles get lost in the mix. Nobody wants to really mourn because it's not their child, but there's something I call residual grief. It
Mm-hmm.
kind of spreads throughout the nation when someone in your family is murdered or dies young. So it's okay to live is epitome of that. I speak with people, just allow them to have a voice, just allow them to do karaoke and just be, forgetting about that grief for a little while at a time. So it came about because I'm a DJ. And of course, my son was murdered 8 days before my birthday. I'm a
Mm-hmm.
birthday girl. And no, I just didn't know. Do I still celebrate my birthday? Like, what do I do? And I was getting my glasses. I love yours. And I always, it's just like, and I know this happens to you. You always have that bond with the angel mom. You don't know until you start talking. You go, oh my gosh. She was
Yeah.
fixing my glasses. She was having a bad day. She was planning a party for her son's anniversary of his death. And her family was mad at her. And I look
Mm-hmm.
at her and I go, it's okay to live. Because what are we going to do? We're going to be live or die.
Yeah.
Everybody has to die. So while you are alive, live and let live. Just don't bother people. And so that's my thing. I'll speak in a garage if you need me to. Life goes on. And my friend, you are the epitome of living through life's tragedies.
Yes. Thank you, Lord.
I mean, you look at that smile, still smiling, still helping, still
Yes.
persevering. So I'm glad that I did something right for God to allow our paths to cross.
Amen. I agree with that. And so I want to piggyback off of that amazing statement and say this. If you are a survivor of childhood sexual abuse, it's okay for you to live. What you're going to have to do is you are going to have to let that stuff go. Because it'll hinder you where you're trying to go if you don't learn how to release it. Find you a good therapist, find you a good friend, find you a good journal, figure it out, but find some way to take that trauma that is in you, get it out of you so that you will understand that it is okay for you to live.
Yeah.
Thank you, girl.
Thank you. I want to piggyback on that one time for you to tell women to let that go. Think of it like this. It's like drinking poison and expect somebody else to die. You've already experienced that pain. Don't punish yourself a second time.
Amen. Amen. I love it. Angela, anything for you?
No, I just love what she's saying. You got to live. I don't care when I say I don't care, I don't mean I don't care, but I don't care what you go through. You got to live. Okay.
Right.
You got to make the choice to fight for yourself. And sometimes it's very important, not sometimes, all the time, it's very important of the circle that's around you. Hope in the comments says that while is silence is a prisoner. And so you have to break out. And sometimes you got to be crazy to try to get out. I just love that word that you didn't use as far as crazy as a mental situation, but as far as something that's positive, because you can take a word and a word can wound you, right? And that could have really wound someone, but the way you described it, the definition that you gave that word power. Those words that the enemy want to destroy us with, we have the power to turn it around. And I love how you did that. And also Sheila in the comments says that when you go through things, those that love you will be affected. And those that's not affected, baby, do they love you?
Ooh.
Girl, I just went through that now.
I'm just
LaWanda
saying.
laughing because she know.
How?
Do you really love me?
You love me when you
Really,
see
it's
me
an
hurting, when
action
you see me
word.
suffering, when you see me literally dying on the
My back.
inside, when you see my voice has been snatched away from me, when
You
you
see
see
this.
me pain, you see this. Matter of fact, you got front row seat.
Mhm.
Do you love me if it's
Yeah.
not affecting you? So
Yeah.
that's something.
Yeah, it's an action word.
Yeah.
We got to cut Miss Tan loose. She is getting ready to go and rock the party tonight.
Yes.
Getting ready to go and have a good time up in the Jacksonville area. So listen, guys, if you are in that area, look her up. She-the-bomb.com.
DJ Miss Tan on all formats. It's okay to live.com.
Woo! Thank you, girl. Appreciate you. Bye. Oh Lord, I have lost my controls. But in the meantime, in between time, we're getting ready to cut to a commercial break. So we'll be back in just a few moments, guys. The LWBL Mission announces a brand new book launch. Silent Setups. Patterns of Deception, Powers of Protection. Grab this book and learn the 10 most commonly used setups predators rely on to groom children and communities. Available now on Amazon.com. Good news! The LaWanda Will B LaWanda.com website is getting a facelift. We've added a fully functional, redesigned website that will help you find what you're looking for quickly. We've added information about our books, including the flagship book, 38 Silencer, Unfired Guns Still Kill. You'll learn about new launch dates, new release dates, and you can even learn additional information about LaWanda and her writing style. You'll be able to learn about the LWBL mission and how you can help us grow. Find out how you can bring LaWanda to your stage with one of her 8 signature fully customizable programs using our fully functional booking page. Everything you need is right here at LaWanda Will B LaWanda.com. We are back from our commercial break, letting you know all things LaWanda Will B LaWanda.
Can I say you're busy, sis? Can I say you are not sleeping on your purpose? Like they say, you are charged, you are equipped, you are crazy ready for your courageous walk that you have to endure, that you're enduring. Look, can I ask you a question, baby? How many books you don't wrote?
So interestingly enough, and that's a good question to ask, 38 Silencer, Unfired Guns Still Kill is the flagship book for the series, the 38 Files series. It is the first in a trilogy. The second book is scheduled to come out in about 30 days. It's called Surviving the Help. And that is going to walk the reader. Well, let me back up and say that 38 Silencer took the reader through the young years of my life when the childhood sexual abuse occurred, the grooming occurred, how it happened, and what happened at the end or towards the middle of that, and how this individual became a permanent fixture in the home. 38, I'm sorry, yeah. Surviving the Help picks right up from where 38 Silencer leaves off. It now puts you smack dead into the 38 years of smiling, the 38 years of serving, the 38 years of, of being surrounded by this trauma that I have had to endure, and how I did it. Like, I hate to say it, but that kind of was a skill to be able to navigate those kinds of waters with still a smile on my face, and still being able to show up, and still being able to be a part, and still having all of that connection. That was a skill, to learn how to navigate through that without upsetting the apple cart. Because you got to keep in mind, my whole objective was to not upset the apple cart. So I had to keep the equilibrium. I was responsible for keeping the equilibrium of the family intact. Like, I had to work hard to keep all of that under wraps and to maintain the equilibrium within the home. And then the third book in that series is called 38 Hot. And 38 Hot is going to pick up where Surviving the Help leaves off. And it's going to tell you about this phase of my life. It's going to tell you about going through the therapeutic process. It's going to bring you up to speed with all of the advocacy work. It's also going to tell you some of the losses that I've endured and the people that I have had to come into conflict with. And it's going to really share with you some of the things that I've had to experience along this journey, because it has not been easy. But right now, 38 Silencer is the only book in that trilogy that is available. The truth of the matter is that Surviving the Help was supposed to be out today, August the 22nd. Is actually the birthday of the predator in my story.
Okay.
And what I have done is I have reclaimed that day as my freedom day.
Wow.
And that's why we launched the book last year on this day. That's why we're here right now, because I have returned the baggage that individual gave me to carry for 38 years. I'm giving it back to you. You can take it the rest of the way. And so it got pushed back. Surviving the Help got pushed back because the Lord, somebody say the Lord.
The Lord.
The Lord told me to write silent setups. And it was not even in my purview. I had no intentions whatsoever of writing this book. It was only supposed to be the trilogy. But at the beginning of the summer, the Lord allowed me to begin to think about all of the children who would be at home for long periods of time.
Mm-hmm.
Lord allowed me to see how many children were going to be at summer camps, and how many children were going to have more time spent on video games where predators hang out more than you would ever believe. And as a result of that, the Lord had me to go ahead and write silent setups. In that book, we are talking about the 10 most universal ways that predators groom children and groom entire community.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about that. I give you examples. I give you real life stories. I even interject some of my own experiences and how those tactics were used on me. So it's called Silent Setups, and it's called Inside the Predator's Playbook, because I want to educate individuals on what grooming really looks like,
Mm-hmm.
so that you can be prepared,
Mm-hmm.
and so that you can interrupt those patterns of deception, and you now have power to be able to stand against those things.
Mm-hmm.
So that came out in the summer. And then right behind that, I turned 55 years old in June. And it was holidays are hard for me, because like Dr. Tasha was saying, the days that I would ordinarily spend with these individuals, now these last year, well, it's been about 3 years from the therapy, but before this happened, I always received gifts and cards and calls and texts and celebrations and, kudos from this very people who today won't even speak my name in a word of prayer. Like won't even call out the Lord for me. It's wild to experience that. But on my birthday, those individuals, not that I was expecting anything, but it appeared like all of those individuals that have that angst towards me got on the phone together and decided to sidestep me on that day. There were a couple of people that I knew wouldn't, but then there were some people in that I just knew would, listen, a text, happy birthday. Listen, we mad at you, but happy birthday, because we mad, but it still don't change the fact that June 23rd is your birthday. So happy birthday. I did it. I did it for them. I'm like, but they wouldn't do the same for me. So it was because of that I had to work through that type of a snub, and I put together a journal, an e-journal called 55 Reasons to Heal. 55 in honor of my birthday, 55 reasons why you can heal, and it literally is an e-journal that you can grab a prompt from. Get your own notebook, your own journal, and write. Remember how we were telling people you got to get this out? Well, 55 Reasons to Heal will help you by giving you specific prompts that you can now use to be able to write your own issues, your own trauma on your own notebook to help you be able to get it out. So right now, I'm at 3. Before it's all said and done, I will be at number 6.
I want to say this though. Sorry.
Yes.
A little bit. I want to say this. But truth be told, you kind of expected something.
Oh yeah.
Because you say you wasn't expecting, but it wouldn't have harmed you if you wasn't expecting something, right? And so how do you prepare yourself for those, like these relationships that you once had may never ever be again? How do a person prepare themselves, or can you prepare yourself that you may never have these relationships again? A relationship that you value.
Yeah. For me, and I can only say this for me, I struggle with it because they already know the story.
Mm-hmm.
It's not that the story is not true. It's just that they didn't want you to know.
Mm.
And so essentially the reason why I'm being blackballed, or what's the word? Punished. Good. The reason why I'm being punished is because I am letting a couple of the skeletons out the closet.
Mm-hmm.
And as I opened up that closet to let the skeletons out, some of the other skeletons also started coming out.
Mm-hmm.
And you now have a group of individuals that have to look at themselves.
Mm-hmm.
They got to look at what they did or what they didn't do. They got to look at how they handled the situation. So now you're fueling a fire and an anger that is like frustration and a how could she?
Mm-hmm.
Can I just submit? How can't we?
Mm-hmm.
Because we cannot continue to hide what is wrong and carry it in our bosoms and let everybody else around us think that we're okay when we really are not.
And you're not. That is so true. And it is so many stories or scenarios where people want you to hold truth, want you to die in silence, where you are so busy trying to protect others. Yeah. But again, who protect you? Who do you really love you? Do you really love me that you want me to stay sick, right?
Yeah.
Secrets keep you sick.
Yes.
Yeah.
Secrets give you cancer.
Okay. Yeah. And stress, high blood pressure,
high blood pressure. Mm-hmm.
All of those things. Secrets can destroy a person. But I courage. It takes courage to walk this. It takes courage to share, because a lot of people, I know a lot of people gonna keep this to themselves, LaWanda. A lot of people are so concerned about being judged. A lot of people are so concerned about being isolated. So a lot of people feeling not fit in. And I've come to realize the reason why I don't fit in, or reason why we don't fit in, because those not our people. What do I mean by that? They may be your blood, yes, they may be a part of your circle, but they're not your people. Your people accept you. Your people is your community that embrace you.
Yes.
So I'm glad you found the community to embrace you.
And I'm thankful for you all as well. The community that is now embracing me has made me feel normal. Because prior to the community embracing me, I felt abnormal. I felt like I had really done something that was horribly wrong, when I knew I was doing something that was setting me free. I got a phone call yesterday from one of my bishops, and he made the statement that made a lot of sense. I came up in his spirit, and he made a statement that made a lot of sense to me. He said, they're angry at you, but what they don't recognize is that this is part of your healing process. It's a major part of that, because whatever we refuse to reveal, whatever we try to conceal, we cannot heal from.
That's right. You can never heal.
And it was never my intentions. When I laid up on my clinician's sofa for the first time, I didn't see this in my future. I didn't think that I was getting ready. I just wanted to, I just was so distraught because of the trigger that all I wanted to do was I had to tell somebody. The only reason why it became public is because when we had an opportunity to have a dialogue with the predators of the story, they didn't show up in the right spirit. They showed up in a accusatory posture. They showed up trying to steal or trying to make it my fault when I was a child. I don't understand how you blame a child, and then also you continue to keep that person around and made them a permanent part of our lives. So now I have to really work hard, and I have to really learn how to keep my position. I had to keep my position. So I had to get along. I had to go along to get along, to stay along. I had to keep my position. And so I'm fighting against so many different obstacles that's coming against me. But it was never supposed to be a public matter. It was supposed to be handled privately. But think about it in scripture. You learn about it from the place of scripture. How do you handle these kind of conflicts? Well,
the person.
Yeah. First of all, you got to go to the person.
Go to the person.
And I went to the person. And so, and when they came to the first session, they came with an accusatory attitude, and they didn't show up for the second session. So that was indication to me that, number one, you don't care about me. And I have cared about you. I have loved you when you were unlovable. I protected you, but you don't care about this paramount moment in my life enough to even give me the courtesy to try to help me resolve it.
And right? You still love them.
And I still love them because I still protect them. I still don't tell you who I'm talking about. You got to read the book. I still don't. You listen.
Even in reading the book, y'all, you got to read between the lines.
No, you don't. First sentence. First sentence, chapter 1 tells you exactly who these people are.
That's what you do tell, but they got some new names.
Oh yeah, they got new names. Yeah, I renamed them, but I tell you in the book, chapter 1, line 1, who the names of the individuals really are to me.
Question. I mean to cut you off, but one of the individuals have developed a new name. Was that hard?
See, this is how you know she know my business. No. And can I tell you? Well, I'll tell you this in a second to answer your question.
No, don't tell the name.
I won't. It was a natural progression.
Okay.
Because one of the things that you will learn is you will figure out how it's important for you to acknowledge the posture of people.
Mm-hmm.
You know, we we can live in our fairy tale land, and I'll call that 38 years living in a fairy tale land. We're looking out of rose colored glasses when that crap was black. It was dirty. It was filthy, dirty water. But I had to allow, that situation to, I had to watch that person's behavior to be able to give them a new name. And I'm gonna tell you something today. I was talking about that new name with another individual, and lo and behold, it became book number 7.
7 books?
It's going to be book number 7.
Wow.
So I'm like, and this is what I'm talking about. When it comes to letting go of this type of trauma, you step into your who you were supposed to be way back then. I am now stepping into who I was supposed to be way back then.
Yeah, the well has been unclogged.
Good. The well has been unclogged. And that is exactly how I feel about that whole situation. Oh my goodness gracious. Hold on. Someone's at the door. Oh my gosh. I know exactly who this is. Guys, I'm getting ready to bring somebody to the stage that is no stranger to me at all. It is my circle homegirl. This is Miss Deanna T. Baker. Oh, there she go.
Hi, everybody.
Guys, this
Hello,
is
how are you?
somehow sitting poolside. I'm like, come on, pool.
Right.
Listen, this is my very best friend in the whole wide world. This is Miss Miss Deanna Baker.
Miss Deanna.
Hello, everyone. Hello, everyone. I know we were talking about words that describe one of my, I would say, I think we've been friends about 40 years.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
So I got a lot of experience as being a good sister friend to her.
Yeah.
And one of the words I could come up with words for days. But when I think about all those words, I want to put them all into one. And that word is grit. And we could throw crazy grit in front of that, charged grit, equipped grit. Because grit is tenacity.
Yeah.
Okay. It is the ability to hold on while letting go. Okay. So holding on to you while letting go of some of the things that have weighed you down and caused you pain. So that's my word for you, is because to have grit, you have to have a certain level of amount of moral fiber. Okay. To have strength to be able to do what you're doing, having that voice, sharing your story. Everybody's not able to share their story for whatever reason, and risking it all.
Yeah.
That's real.
Risking it all. Some people they don't expect. When I think about how things have played out, you had mentioned that your pastor had said, I wrote it down, they're angry with you, blah blah blah. And so
angry with me because they don't understand it's part of my healing journey.
Right. And immediately in my head popped up, they can't rightfully be angry with you without being secretly angry with themselves.
That's me coming close, baby. Because
what are you doing? Yeah,
but that's real. That's real.
They just can't be, because what I know who you are, who you have been to them. This is me trying to not say what you don't want to be said, which is very difficult. What I know, who you have been and what you have been to these people, you have been the glue.
Oops, sorry. Give me 1 second. I added someone I didn't mean to add. Go ahead.
I said, you have been the glue. And so without you, they're just kind of floating around,
Yeah.
acting.
Acting.
At first, you were the biggest actor.
Mm-hmm.
Now everybody else has to put on this even bigger facade than what they were doing. Okay. Because it wasn't out. And so they can safely act like everything's okay.
Yeah.
But now that thing is out.
Whew.
And it's hard to continue to act like everything's okay when everybody knows it's not.
Mm-hmm.
And so you doing what you've done, that's grit. That's grit. You've pulled the wool off, right? You've pulled the wool off. The disguise is off. That clown suit, because I hated it.
You did. She doesn't like clowns.
I don't like clowns.
And now that I'm thinking about that, were you talking about me when you was like the clowns? Were you?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. I don't have any issues with telling you what I need to tell you.
You're a clown.
But I did not like that for you. I didn't like that you had that, but you did it so eloquently. Because you did it with love. Everything, every party, every celebration, anytime you needed to be there for any of them, you were the reason why it was great.
Right.
You were the
over the top.
Over the top. I would be like, oh my God, so I got to wear a hat and beat this thing. Okay. Just totally brings me out of character. So, but that's what they're used to. But I know that their glue has ran out.
Mm-hmm.
Their glue has ran out. So where you are healing, they're dealing with themselves.
Yeah.
They're dealing with themselves. But hey, don't you feel bad about that?
No, I cannot.
That's their thing to deal with.
Mm-hmm.
It was so easy because you were hiding, protecting, and so now that's over.
Yeah. I'm living my life like it's golden now. I'm in a different place. Can I tell you something, Angela? And I don't know if we mentioned this Angela, are you with me?
I am.
Okay. I don't know if we mentioned this last year when we did this or not. Who's that? Bianca?
That's Blanca, my grand dog.
The grand dog. Hey, Blanca. So yeah, tell her to go jump in the pool.
Girl.
Tell her to take a swim.
Please.
Listen. So I don't know if we said this or not, but Deanna was the only person in my life that knew the story, who consistently told me that I did not have to be around those people.
I do. I remember her telling you the story. I remember her at the show. And I wanted to say to her, because you was there, right, in the stick. You 40 years, she's 50, you 55, 40 years. So you've been in her life since she was 15.
Mm-hmm.
You have seen her morph into someone else.
Yes.
You've seen her personality become something else. Now that she's sharing, now that she's been unclogged, now that she's been released, do it remind you of the young girl that you met at the age of 15?
Oof.
I can't hear her.
I can't hear you either. You went away, Dink.
There you
How
go.
about that?
Yeah.
I took my glasses off and hit the mute. My bad. So what I'll say is she's always been full of life.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
That has, even I mean, there's not a time when, if even in the hardest time, she's been full of life,
Okay.
full of energy, full of let's get it done, what needs to happen. I mean, she was our class president.
Yeah.
Yes, she was our class president. And so this, you ask, well, does it take me back to that? She was already going through that at that time.
Mm-hmm.
So she was already living in that facade at
Okay.
that.
Mm-hmm.
So
Do
getting
you
to,
see a shift in her from now, from being free and living that facade? Do you see a shiftness? Do you see something new in her? Do you see um
oh, definitely, definitely. She's always had a voice, always had a voice. But now it's stronger.
Yeah.
Now it's stronger. It's fearless.
okay.
So there's definitely some growth. Oh,
Somebody's at the door.
A lot of company. Your house stay busy.
Somebody's at the door. We're gonna have to wrap it up, Dink. But anybody,
okay. I just always what you're doing. You know, you're growing. This hopefully will help many. Hopefully will help many, and hopefully prevent a lot. You know, if we can't do anything about those that have already suffered this kind of travesty, but except for give them a voice and help them heal. But
yeah,
hopefully it reaches that mom or that auntie or that grandma or that uncle or that somebody, either a predator or someone who is allowing a predator. Hopefully it gets in their ear.
right. So that they can see the
so
damage of that it really causes.
yeah, so it can stop there. You
Yeah.
know, so hopefully it makes somebody see that, oh, my daughter comes first, or oh, my niece comes first, or oh, let me protect my sister, or let me protect, just hopefully it does that.
Yeah. Because this happens far too often and there are way too many stories. And I think that the more voices that we put out here like mine that are
Mm-hmm.
unashamed and loud and clear and concise that this must stop. That's my whole end goal here is to
Yeah,
eradicate childhood sexual abuse. I'm
yeah.
going to stand 10 toes down in that thing until the Lord calls me home. Girl, thank you for coming by.
See y'all. Have a good one.
Alrighty, I'll call you. I holla.
Holla.
Guys, that was my best friend of 40 some odd years. Interesting conversation with her because the truth of the matter is, Angela, when I met her, I was already I was being shuffled when I met her. I was being shuffled from house to house, place to place, because I was being blamed. I was in halfway homes, I was in group homes, because I was being blamed. And so it's interesting that she watched me have to go through all of that. And almost my entire friendship with her, that was a major backdrop or a major theme for that. So I've got another guest that's coming up, and I want to go ahead and get them up here really quickly because we get to talk and we don't have an opportunity to really give people space and time. But Dr. Tasha was here earlier, and I don't know if you know this or not, Angela, but she recently got married. Did you know that? Okay, so Dr. Tasha recently got married, and she invited me to come to her church to witness her nuptials, to which me and another girlfriend of mine took that hour and a half commute to her church to go and watch her get married. It was an amazing experience. The pastor of the church is called Transformation Church in Miami, Pastor Xavier Jones. That Sunday, he preached a message called Bold Moves. And it was just such a good sermon. You know how you just go to church, Angela, and you just have a good sermon. It was just a good sermon, and the energy in the church was right, and the people were friendly, and everybody was nice, and they treated me like, I mean, a lot of them do know me, but they treated me like I was a part of their family. And it just, I hadn't been in church in 6 months when this happened.
Really?
Really, I stopped going to church at the end of 2024. And I just believe that it was necessary for me to step back from a lot of the things that I was doing, because I was still trying to people please. God had to strip me of some things, and that included how I responded to things in the church. Like God had to he had to steal me away to help me get to the next level to get here. And that came with being quiet, that came with being still, that came with not having responsibilities and people pulling on my anointing, because my well was dry. Like I had to go and get replenished myself. So that was my first time going back to church in like 6 months, and I had a marvelous time. It reminded me of what I loved about church. So the following Sunday, I felt impressed in my spirit to go back. Now, keep in mind, this is August. We're in August. So keep in mind, this is the middle of July. This is not the beginning of the month. This is in the middle of July. Pastor Jones switched to a series called Family Matters. And lo and behold, he was preaching my story. And it was like, and since then, I have been going back to the church, and I have experienced such major love. It's almost as if God is speaking to me himself in a corporate situation. And today I am bringing one of the leaders here to the stage. Her name is Dr. Erica Caldwell Clinch, and she is here to share with us about Transformation Church and about that series, Family Matters. Hey, Dr. E.
Hello, doctor.
We can't hear you.
Okay.
There you go.
Hey,
pull your camera down just a little bit. All we see is Nick. Can you pull it down just a bit? Yeah, there you go. Come on, let me see the gold flower. Yes, gold rose in Texas.
Yeah, how you doing?
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. But listen, thank you for coming on to my show. I know that listen, this has been a journey for me, and you have been. I sit right behind her in church, and this has been a journey for me. There was one message in particular that Pastor preached, and you had to come and hold my hand because it was a tough moment. But let Angela ask you the question, and then we'll get into that.
Well, nice to meet you, Doc.
Nice to meet you.
I'm going to ask you the same question, and that is, well, how long have you known LaWanda?
Well, personally, not too long, but I've known of her, maybe about 4 or 5 years, because we have some of the same friends.
Right. Ever since your sister's wedding is when you and I really started following each other. So how long are you married now? 4 years?
Oh my gosh, my sister's been married
5 years.
No, probably like 8 or 9 years.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, she's been there like 8 or 9 years now,
and 2 kids later. Yeah, so that's how we got in. That's how we got connected. Was there, and how I started following you. And then listen, you're such a huge presence in the city that it's easy to connect with you. But go ahead.
Okay. So now that we know that you do know her before and you know her now, same question. One word to describe what you see in LaWanda at this moment.
Easy. Freedom.
Woo!
Freedom. I was listening because I've been backstage for a little bit. And so I was like, immediately I heard the Spirit of the Lord say freedom. Freedom.
Okay, let's talk about it. What does
one of the major tricks of the enemy is to keep us bound, and to keep us bound by things of our past, to keep us bound by our own thoughts of ourselves, to keep us bound by our own history, to keep us bound by our own thoughts about our own self. I mean, so however he can keep us bound, that's what he'll do. And so the word of God says, where the Spirit of the Lord is, there is liberty. And so when we invite the Lord in, and when we understand who he is and his power and his love that he has for us, therein we receive his freedom. And so that particular Sunday, as LaWanda said, I was sitting in front of her, but the Spirit of the Lord unctioned me to go back to where she was sitting. And I didn't even have to say a word.
Mm-mm.
I didn't have to say a word. Sometimes it's just in a touch.
Yeah.
I just grabbed her hand and I could feel the release. I could feel the release.
Yeah.
And I could feel the beginning part of the release. And he began to release. And I tell you, so I knew then, I may not have known all of the intricate details, but I knew that by me touching her, and it's not about me, right? It's not about me at all. I'm just a vessel. But God will use us as his instruments here on the earth. He will use our hands, he will use our feet, he will use our mouth, he will use our body, he will use us. And so that touch to me, to her, that was the Father.
Yes.
Was touching her.
Yes.
That there was healing being released to her at that point.
Yes.
So he was freeing her.
And that's why you are here. Because that touch changed the entire trajectory. And what was interesting about it is that it wasn't even what broke me in that service was it wasn't about the trauma that I've experienced. It was about the people on the other side and the way that they are treating me. And I just had a moment of just a gasp because that was probably the piece of my story that I hold very closely, that I, that's really close to my heart. It's, it's close to the vest. I'm holding that thing because I can't believe they're treating me like this. To get the pastor to hone in on that. And I just let out a gasp. And Doc was right there to be able to, it was crazy. Sunday was crazy too, Doc.
Oh, let me tell you. This is why I believe it's just so very important for us to always be in a position to hear what the Lord is saying to us.
Yes, absolutely.
Because you don't know who you are going to come into contact with. And it's not only in church on Sunday. It could be you going to the grocery store. It could be you going to the gas station. I say this all the time. You don't know who God is going to bring you into contact with, who will need a word from him through you, or may need that touch, or may need that hug, or may need you just don't know. So you just have to position yourself to always be in a place to release what the Spirit of the Lord is telling you to do. And so last Sunday, man,
Ooh, first of all, it was bananas.
It was the woman of God came through there like a wrecking ball. Okay,
a full wrecking ball. This was a guest preacher.
Was a guest preacher. And so but it was the kind of word that she came through, and she was plowing. She was plowing, and she was plowing. So, and it was the kind of word that you don't listen to that one time. You continue to go back and forth. But she was plowing, and she was also uprooting some things. Because there's a lot of secrets. Come on, somebody, that we keep hidden and we don't want to talk about. We don't want to talk about. We want to keep it hidden. And then we take that into our adulthood, and we don't know how to function as adults because of what happened to us as a child.
Right.
And so this was so freeing for you, LaWanda, on Sunday, that this woman of God came, gave you a word of the Lord that continued with what God started last Sunday. He just continued. And so that's why he gave me the word freedom.
Yeah.
Freedom.
And it goes along to what she actually ministered to me. I have watched that prophetic moment 100 times since last week. And I hear something new on a regular basis. But one of the things she said that really touched me, that goes along with your word, is she said, you are like a Harriet Tubman to your family. And you are to lead them through the underground to help them to bring them out. I got that revelation probably about 6 months ago. I posted it on my social media page. It's there somewhere that I'm like a Harriet Tubman. And for her to bring that back, just, I mean, I literally am weeping. I'm on the floor, by the way. I made a joke about it. You know, I had to eat a little epoxy floor last Sunday.
Come on.
You know, and it wasn't comfortable. But at the same token, when the Spirit of the Lord is moving at that level, at that high level of prophecy, you know, to stand underneath that, it's impossible. It's impossible. And I don't courtesy drop for nobody, Doc.
I know that's right.
I'll stand right there and look at you. I'll grab your hand like, oh, no, you're not right.
Yeah.
The doctor said something in which I love, and I'd rather it be this than the other way. She said that she didn't know you, but she knew in the spirit.
Yes.
Knowing in the spirit is so much more important than knowing someone in the flesh, because sometimes you miss it. Sometimes you allow your emotion or your experience to speak and you miss it. But when the spirit do a thing,
That's
it's
it.
gonna do what need to be done.
And so to piggyback off of that, Angela, you are correct, because Dr. E, you are the only person that I had to send your itinerary to on Facebook Messenger. I do not have her phone number. She does. We are not in relationship like that. Everybody else, I sent it via text. But, and you know, and I didn't know if she would actually, but I needed somebody to come and talk about what's happening at Transformation Church, because we have a campaign to be able to fill that auditorium by the end of this year. And with the level of word that is going forth in that house, I needed someone to come and talk about just how the word shows up, and it is so specific, and it is so, for me in this season, but it might be your season the next time. So Dr. E, invite them to church.
Yes, thank you so very much. So my pastor, Pastor Xavier L. Jones, we are Transformation Church Miami, little city of Goose, right? But we are a small ministry, huge ministry. Okay, small church, big ministry. But we are preaching the true, infallible, unadulterated word of God, operating in the gifts of the Spirit, flowing in the gifts of the Spirit. But we do so much ministry, children's ministry, after school care, before school care. And we are believing God for another building. And so we right now are in Mays Middle School, Arthur and Polly Mays Conservatory of the Arts. But we have a capital campaign happening right now where we are believing God for a building. And so our website, if I can give that, is www.tcmiami.org. www.tcmiami.org. And so we welcome everyone to be able to join in on our capital campaign. We are live on YouTube, Facebook every Sunday at 11:30. Join in. We are given the true, infallible word, I'm telling you. And so this church has helped me to grow in leaps and bounds. I am, the Lord has allowed me to be mantled me as a prophet there at the church. Well, not just at the church, but my path
through that ministry, right?
through the ministry. And so since I've been there, the Lord has allowed me to really just launch. And so the house that does not hold you, you mantled, you equipped, you're sent.
You sent. I love it. I love it. Wonderful time at the ministry. I am on loan to Transformation Church from Pastor George Rich at P3 Church Ministries here, where the church is 10 minutes away. And I do drive. And the good news is I have managed to get that drive down from 90 minutes to 45 minutes. I think the first time, right? Because now I found a direct route. But before, they had me going through the city and getting off over by the Palmetto Hospital and driving down the back roads and around corners and through cities and across the woods. I'm like, good Lord. When we came for the wedding, it took us almost 2 hours to get to church that day.
Oh my goodness.
But now I got a straight shot 75, get off exit 216, boom. I'm
right you right there. Oh yeah.
I'm right there. Boom. I got it now. So I'm down to about 45 minutes on the commute. And it has been truly a tremendous blessing for me. Thank you so much,
Thank you.
for coming on, Dr. E. I appreciate you, and I appreciate that word freedom. You saw I had to tear up a little bit because God has truly changed my life at
Thank
Transformation.
you. And thank you for what you're doing, because this is not common. People
Yes.
just sit on it and they don't talk about it. But
And you can tell by how many people are getting free for the Family Matters series, how important. Listen, Dr. E is in leadership. And so you can tell how many people are getting free.
Yes.
And that's why I believe the series is continuing. I don't know when Pastor is going to switch it up, but that's why the series is continuing, because people are getting free.
Amen. Amen.
Thank
God
you,
bless you.
girl. Appreciate you. Blessings to you. Have a wonderful weekend. I know you worked hard this week.
Thank
Nice
you.
to meet you.
Nice to meet you.
Bye now. All right. So we are almost getting to the end of our show. We had intended to be done at 8, but we're not. But give us another 20 minutes or so and we'll be out of here. But guys, listen, Dr. E mentioned the Capital Campaign for Transformation Church. I need to also mention the Capital Campaign for the LWBL Mission. As you are looking here on the screen, you do see that there is a QR code right down in my right-hand side of the screen, and that is to help you easily find a way that you can donate towards the 501c3 organization. We are a tax-deductible organization that you will be able to donate to help me continue to spread this message. I am determined to stay on the battlefield for my Lord, and also as an advocate for childhood sexual abuse. I am committed to going after the men and the women that are in their 50s that have never been able to tell. And I am committed to working with the children on what grooming looks like. But to do that, I need money. To do that, I need assistance. To do that, I need you to be willing to help me go to the next level. So please, if you're watching this live or if you are watching this on the replay, grab that QR code. Every single dollar helps. There are so many projects, and we're going to get into that later, but there are so many projects on the back burner. You will be amazed at just how much stuff I've managed to do in the 1 year that this organization has been live. And it wasn't an organization at first, it was just a book. But from the book became the organization. And you will be amazed at just how much stuff I have managed to put into the marketplace in that 1 year period of time. And I'll show you my brag book at the end of the broadcast here. But please go ahead and be a blessing. Listen, it doesn't matter. 5, 10, 15, 20, a million, 2,000, 4,000, 5,200, $67.38. It doesn't matter. Whatever you have, whatever you're willing to sow, whatever you're willing to give, I promise you that it will be used in the right way. Coming up now, I don't have to ring the doorbell for him because we already know. Well, I did it anyway because I wanted to bring him on up here. I am getting ready to bring to the stage an incredible individual that has graciously chosen and decided to walk beside me as I build this nonprofit organization. He is a nonprofit organization guru. He is someone who knows the ins and outs of building a community project like this, and he has been willing to come alongside me and to help me grow the LWBL mission and take it to its next level. He is a board member on the LWBL mission, and I wanted to bring him on first and foremost to add a little testosterone to this conversation, but also to talk about the nonprofit organization. Brother Jarvis, are you here?
Yes, I'm here.
I saw your picture earlier. Are we going to look at your black screen or are we going to look at your picture?
Let's see. Let's see if this is going to work for us.
All righty, guys, this is Jarvis Brunson, and he is with the Change Me Foundation. He has his hand on the pulse of what's happening in Broward County as far as mental health services are concerned. And I am absolutely thrilled to have him on my team to help develop the LWBL mission. So if you can't bring your camera up, it's perfectly fine. We will just pretend like we see you, okay?
It's showing that I'm up, so
It's showing that you're what?
Oh, I can see myself. Not
You
sure
can
why.
see yourself. Yeah, I saw you earlier, but for whatever reason, it went back to the black screen. I saw you backstage, but it's okay. Angela, go ahead. Ask him his question.
Hey, dog, you are so handsome. I just, I give you that. Nevertheless, unfortunately, I can't see your face, but welcome to the show. And like we're doing everyone. First of all, how long have you known LaWanda?
Let's see, about 5 years now.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I can't ask you a question if you don't know her, but now that you've known her for 5 years, and I'm sure you are part of this this journey, you are really deep down into it. You know the ins and the outs, and from the 5 years that you've known her to now, one word to describe what you see in LaWanda at this time.
I'm gonna say fearless. That's my word I'm gonna choose for LaWanda. Fearless.
I like that.
Okay.
Thank you, Jarvis. Now, I just want to bring a little bit of, I know you're going to talk to me about that, but Jarvis and I don't really know each other like that. He is definitely, our relationship is business. And so, he has seen me around. We have worked together on different projects. He actually is one of my clients. I do a major event for him every year called the Walk in My Shoes. It is a 5K race that he runs yearly. And I think that I've been with you. I think it's been 3 years. And so really the relationship is more of a business relationship. So, hey, there you go, friend. Okay. And so there you go. Did wife help you? Thank you, wife.
No, she did help me. My daughter helped me. Thank
you, daughters. You got to get the tech support people in the room. You know who knows.
These teenagers know everything nowadays.
They know everything. So yeah, so it is a business relationship here. But again, he's definitely going to be a benefit to the organization. But go ahead, Angela.
Well, even with business, I'm sure you've shown up different now. You're showing up ready. You're showing up, like he said, fearless. And so when you see fearless and knowing this woman for 5 years and to be a part of this organization now, to see you got to see the fire. You got to see the passion that she have for this now. From 5 years to now, when you say fearful, what does fearful? Explain fearful. Let's go into
fearless.
So the first thing let's talk about. So I know LaWanda for 5 years, and when I say fearless and passion, when she does one of my major events for me, where I raise awareness for children's mental health, she brings it. She brings the fire, she brings the passion, and I love that about her. And so year one when I met her, I was like, she's forever my host for my event, because she has the passion. She has she understands the assignment, and I think that leads into why I say she's fearless. And when you look at what she's doing, you have to have that fearless, because what comes upon you, all that energy, or folks are going to down talk you about that. So you have to have that, but you also have to have that passion to realize that you have to help our peoples, help our minority folks understand that we have to break this generational cycle. And that's where I came from, understanding mental health and suffering from depression when I was little. Got to break that generational cycle, got to be getting us to be able to open up. And so having that passion and having that determination to do it, I think you can't be afraid of it, what's coming for you. There's going to be a lot of things thrown at you when you're trying to do this. And so that's why I say fearless, because I think she has that ability to do it. There's a lot of things going to be thrown at her. She has that ability to say, you know what, I'm going to keep trucking.
I'm going to keep tracking. Yeah. Good stuff.
So yeah.
Yeah, she definitely have the nevertheless. We're going to go through this mentality, and I love that about her. And definitely you got to be able to move. And I just thank you, because you know what? It's not too often that we get a male to come and share, a male that want to and so
I was watching the video, and there's a lot of powerful women that was on this so, but I don't mind coming and bringing that male figure to it. I think we need more males to be outspoken and be open about,
because it's not just a woman thing. And we have a lot of people. Jarvis, if you can pull your camera down just a little bit and bring yourself up a little bit higher. Yes, there you go. Let us see a little shirt. There we go. Because you look like you was cut off. Like it was like like you was scared. But yes, because listen, I I won't say as many, but as I go on this journey, I have men who come up to me and tell me ashamedly that this has happened to them.
Mhm.
And it's hard for them to be able to say these things. So it's not just girls are the ones that are being molested, but men, little boys are being by their babysitters, by other men. And it's taking away innocence, and it's taking away individuals' identity. So it was important for me. And I'll be honest with you, Jarvis, I was afraid to ask you.
No, but we do need, like you said, we do need to be where we have males that are more open to having this conversation, so that, you know, those individuals can feel like, you know what, I can be vulnerable to have this conversation and share that, you know, this has happened to me. You know, I have had a friend that had this happen to him, but it took him a very long time to talk about it, because, like you said, it's always perceived that this is a woman, you know, female area where this only happens to women, but we don't realize that it happened to males, and we don't have enough male to be able to break down that stigma and be vulnerable to share that so that others can see it. You know, I share my story and I tell people, you know, when I lost my mother, you know, I had a lot of male figures say it's time to be a man, and I was like, sorry, I'm a mama's boy. I'm trying to cry. You know, I'm 15. I'm trying to cry. We'll talk about this manhood at another time, but for me, you know, it's about being vulnerable. You know, I had a twin sister and everything that was allowed to cry and everything else like that. And I said, you know, I love y'all, but I'm going to go cry, you know. So, and that's why I share with a lot of people when I tell my story, you know, that you got to be able to say, you know, we got to be able to be emotional as men. And so if we don't break that down, our next generation of those that are listening in the room, how are they going to feel comfortable sharing their story? You know,
Yeah.
play this tough guy, macho man, and everything else like that. It's going to be very difficult.
Yeah, and I think it's hard too for men of color, because to say that you have experienced this, you know, you don't know if people are going to look at you as saying that you're attracted to the same sex.
Yes.
That's most of the problem, is people feeling like they're going to be judged and not heard. And so thank you for sharing, because it really makes a difference.
So what I wanted to talk to Jarvis about really quickly as well is that, Jarvis, you have your finger on the pulse of the mental health services that are available here in Broward County. Tell us, how will you be able to really help and impact the LWBL mission?
So as LaWanda said, yes, I do have my fingerprint on the work in Broward County. I've been doing the work for about 23 years now. And I was a very advocate about, when I went through my journey, making sure that if you're going to ask, you know, individuals of color to come to the table, or minorities to come to the table and share their story, you got to understand the trauma that we go through. And so I have to get our counterparts to really understand that you can't get us in a room and want us to have a kumbaya moment if you don't understand where we come from. And so I've been an advocate to really talk about what that looks like. And so I've kind of made a name in the community. I currently sit on what they call the Children's Services Board of Broward County. It's a board appointed by County Commission. And so I know where the dollars flow in our county. I know where the dollars, where funders are looking for the dollars to flow, what initiatives they want. And so I can bring that to the organization. I can be an advocate. You know, as she said, I have my nonprofit and I work with individuals, and I work with our kids in the community. So we could partner together to share, you know, as I work with kids that may have experience, or individuals that may have experienced this trauma, what does it look like, right? And how can they get that support that I can. Right. And so I can bring, you know, an array of things. You know, I believe in collaboration. So I think, you know, Change Me Foundation, which is my nonprofit, can collaborate with LWBL, you know, and see how we can work together. So I know where the dollars flow. I know how to access it. I'm not afraid to be an advocate and say, hey, you know, we need $100,000 to do this initiative.
Hey, say it again. Hey, I felt a quickening in my spirit. Hey. Yeah.
So yeah.
Yeah, get out there and make it flow, make it work. The work need to be done.
Yeah.
That's what
we have to break this. We have to break this generational cycle.
We have to.
And I believe that and just like Jarvis has used me as his MC for, you know, the last 3, or has it been 4? I think it's 3 years. Last 3 years. Yeah.
That's 3
So
years.
just like he's used me, you know, I believe that the MC work that I was doing only was a setup for me to do this work, which is to really go out and snatch people out of this shame and this hardship and this trouble and this struggle. And I'm excited to be able to do that. So thank you very much for coming on by, for all of that work you did to make sure that you came up live.
Thank you.
And I appreciate you, brother, for real, for real.
Yeah.
Angela, any closing words for Jarvis?
No, it is nice to meet you. I told you was very handsome. See, look.
Thank you.
But no, keep doing the work. I too try to encourage, motivate, and inspire our generation, our younger people. So we may come across each other again soon. Okay.
Yes.
Look forward to it.
To you.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Thank you, Jarvis.
Yes, thank you guys.
For you.
Talk to you later. Bye for now. I'll call you.
That's your thing. That's your thing, huh? I'll call you.
I'll holler. No, I don't know who that is. That's some, I don't know, whatever. Well, Angela, we are 5 minutes before we end this live.
You have any more guests?
No, that's it. Jarvis was our last guest.
Okay, good. Because I was writing down questions before you went out. I wanted to say something, right?
Mhm.
You lived a life of isolation, but yet you have to endure something that's a totally different isolation. So did you expect? No, I know you did, but just imagine living a life of isolation to go deeper into isolation.
Whew, yeah, you wrote that one, didn't you? You put some thought behind that one. So
because you were isolated, because although you had to, you couldn't, when I say isolation, you couldn't be you, right? You had to hold you just to be in a room, to be in a circle, to be in that's just crazy.
Yeah. And so it's weird because you are absolutely correct. But the isolation that I experienced before I came out with this story was a different type of isolation. It was, just like you said, I wasn't able to be me.
Mhm.
I had to be what I was being required to be. And that really has really thwarted my growth. When I do a seminar, I'm going to Reno, Nevada soon to actually do a seminar called The Tentacles of Trauma. And this is what I'm talking about. And I'll show my brag book in a bit, but this is what I'm talking about, how the world has just opened up to me the moment that I told this story.
Mhm.
But I'm now being booked to speak nationally at major conferences and major, things that, are just, it's mind-boggling and mind-blowing. And the reason why I'm being invited is because I am an actual survivor.
Mhm.
I don't just have clinical notes about what it is, but I actually lived it, experienced it, and came out on the other side about it, able to talk about it with a resolve to bring other people out of it.
Yep.
And so this is the reason why I'm being booked to go to these places and speak to these professionals so that I can share with them what it's like from a survivor's perspective. So the isolation that I experienced was just not being able to be authentically me.
Yes, sir.
And that caused me to not be able to really operate at my full potential. I shared this with you earlier. Listen, I have done some great things in my life. I really have. But I have never been able to get beyond the glass ceiling because that trauma was sitting on top of me. And until I learned how to show up authentically me, until I figured out how to tell the truth and shame the devil, I would never be able to exceed or never be able to get further than I was. And this right here in 1 year, has catapulted me to an entire another level. Let's take a look at the brag book really quick.
Wait. To hold on to the brag book, I got 2 more things I want to say. Do you when you tell your story, you're amazed of people's reaction because it's something that's in a sense became the norm to you. So when people respond, you're shocked.
Yeah. And I have to actually work on that. Yeah. Yeah, because there's something about me that's safe.
Mhm.
There's something about me safe. And because I am so open and honest about my own story, other people feel safe coming out about theirs. That is a privilege.
Okay.
That's a privilege.
And one more. This is my last one. Why something that helps as far as truth is so hard to do?
Because we're used to living a lie. Think about what social media is today, right? We're used to the facades. We're used to making it look like, everything is good in our hood and that there is nothing, wrong. And when I think about this particular generational cycle, because this has been going on for years, when I think about this generational cycle, it's just hard to talk about. It's hard to actually say that I have been molested as a child. And the reality of it is that there is an organization called RAINN, and they are at the forefront of this conversation, RAINN. They are at the forefront of this conversation, and they have said that almost, I want to say the number is 90% of all individuals who are molested know the individual they were molested by. So we are not talking about, creepy Petey that came out from, out of the alleyway. We're talking about people that live in our houses. We're talking about people that go to our churches.
Mm-hmm.
We're talking about people that teach our children in our schools. The victim knows that individual and they trusted them. And that is one of the main ways that the predators are able to gain access, because they know they study them. They know their weaknesses. They know, how to manipulate that individual. So, that's really just kind of going to be my answer to that. It's an unfortunate situation that people are more comfortable with the lie because the truth hurts. And the truth will make you free. Yeah. Oh, so now you want me to show the brag book? I was waiting on the next question. So let me show you guys. And this is a video. Listen, this is a video that I recorded myself. But I wanted to bring this up. I wanted to share this with you. So let's take a look at what this organization has managed to accomplish in 1 year's time. Check it out. I am so proud to share with you what the LWBL Mission has been up to since we launched last year on August the 22nd. This is an entire ecosystem of hope and healing. In our brag book, you'll see that LaWanda is an author, an advocate, and a subject matter expert on childhood sexual abuse and grooming. She accomplishes this through several vehicles, including books. The first one being 38 Silencer, Unfired Guns Still Kill, with the next book coming out in the next 30 days called Surviving the Help, which is 38 years of smiling, serving, and silencing the truth. The third book in that series is 38 Hot, where LaWanda refuses to remain silent. In addition to that, there are speaking and workshops that have been developed on the LWBL Mission. They include 7 different keynote and workshops, including a signature talk entitled Silent Setups. There's also the Facebook page that has been converted to the digital mic, where we talk about all things healing and all things going forward in your life. You can download the 55 Reasons to Heal, LaWanda's personal journal that you can use to help you heal from any type of trauma. She also is heavily in the advocacy area, where parents are able to download free grooming awareness checklist and this piece that she's very proud of called Predators versus Parents, where we talk about the games that our children play where the predators are also present. The LWBL Mission is a 501c3 charitable organization, and you do have the opportunity to donate to the cause through our GoFundMe link shown here. Thank you very much for taking a look and seeing what the LWBL Mission is all about. That was rude and crude, right?
That's a lot. That foundation has been put together. That is, arms being stretched out to make a difference in the community, to reach someone no matter where they at. And that's just amazing. It is. So
girl, thank you so much for coming and hanging out with me tonight. I appreciate how amazing you are. Guys, listen, clap it up for Miss Angela Lewis Warren in the chat. Y'all give my girl some love. Tell us about the Be True to You talk show. What can we expect this year?
Okay, the Be True to You talk show, we come back September 8th. We are just still doing what we do. We bring people who can share their testimony of what they've been through, how God brought them out, so they can know, hey, if God did it for me, he can do it for you. In the midst of that, you can share your business, but it's not about that. It's about, I want you to not come share your story, not as a victim, but as a survivor, that again will give somebody else hope, that can see themselves in your testimony, and to know that, hey, God did it for you, he's going to do that for me too. There is hope. Yeah.
How do we reach you?
We will be back again September 8th at 7 p.m. coming back with Dr. Sharetta Remiki as one of our first guests, as far as the author and how she beats the odds, as far as being the first one of her family to not only finish high school but go to college.
Wow, fantastic. So how do we reach you?
You can reach me at Be True to You talk show at yahoo.com. You can reach me at 954-298-0183. You can also follow us on Instagram and YouTube at Be True to You talk show.
Excellent. And guys, can I just also say that she is an incredible hairstylist specializing in short cuts and short hair. She is my personal stylist. So tell us about the Be True to You hair salon as well.
Okay, we're located in the great Lauderhill, which is 4200 Northwest 16th Street, Lauderhill, Florida. We're open Wednesday through Friday. That's right, Wednesday through Friday, honey. We don't do hair on Saturdays. We've been doing hair for almost 40 years, so we took our Saturdays back. But we do have a professional space. You don't wait. We value your time, so we don't have you waiting. It is a comfortable, professional place. We are Christian based, so you don't have to worry about any type of drama. You come there, you relax. You can get some prayer too if you need it, but you don't have to. But nevertheless, we do specialize in shortcut natural hair. When I say natural hair, we don't do weave. We may do quick weaves here and there, but I'm into hair care. I'm old school, and I still use my Marcel iron, y'all.
She sure does. And she washes your hair too. But there's also other services that you offer. Facials.
Yes, yeah, I do facials. That's right. I do basic facials, and I do facials, honey. That's all I can.
Okay, very good. Because I don't know if I'm allowed to say the other stuff. So I'm like facials, fantastic.
Facial, honey. Lymphatic massages for people as well. So yeah.
Yeah, she is a multi-talented individual. So guys, please look up Angela Lewis Warren. You got a couple events coming up here too, right?
I do. Thank you, LaWanda. We have Breathe and Brew, which is September 27th from 10 to 12, which is also going to be located at the 4200 Northwest 16th Street in Lauderhill, Florida, 33311. It is a cost of $20. We're going to provide everything for you, as far as tea, coffee, juice, and little refreshment. But it's all about just you coming and share. It's for you can relax. It's about you pouring into you and just being poured into. So
yeah, I like that. And
then we have the Cancer Have No Boundaries. We're going to have the one and only, the best MC, which will be LaWanda Will B LaWanda, honey. Yes, Cancer Have No Boundary is an annual event that we do in honor of the late Congressman John Lewis, as well as our mother, Willie Lewis. Congressman John Lewis is our uncle. cancer have no boundaries because don't care what part of the body it touch, does not care what family member it touch. And so it has no boundary. It will reach us one way or the other. Also, we like to honor those that had to take care of someone with cancer. And also, if you happen to lose someone in cancer, we honor you as well, to honor their life as well. So how do you get honor? You can send in a nominate someone by sending in Be True to You Talk Show at yahoo.com, stating why you want them to be honored, why you want to shine the light on them, right? Why you want to applaud them, why you want to show them that they're not in this journey alone.
Excellent. Thank you so very much, girl. I appreciate you so much, more than you will ever know, because you helped me to tell this story, and that is extremely important to me. So thanks again. Appreciate
you, darling. I appreciate you.
All righty. Bye for now. I'll see you Thursday.
What you say? Call you. What? I
holla. Bye, lady. Thank you for coming by. So guys, that is it. You have heard all about the LWBL mission. You have heard all about how this has one act of obedience in writing this book has morphed into an entire organization. You have learned a lot about my journey, what it took for me to get here. No, it wasn't easy. Yes, it was hard, but I can do hard things. At the end of the day, my desire, my responsibility, and my goal is to eradicate childhood sexual abuse and to change the narrative around its silence. My name is LaWanda Will B LaWanda, always, because everybody else is already taken. You guys check out these last few commercials, and I will see you on the next event. Bye for now. The LWBL Mission announces a brand new book launch. Silence setups, patterns of deception, powers of protection. Grab this book and learn the 10 most commonly used setups predators rely on to groom children and communities. Available now on Amazon.com. Good news! The LaWanda Will B LaWanda.com website is getting a facelift. We've added a fully functional, redesigned website that will help you find what you're looking for quickly. We've added information about our books, including the flagship book, 38 Silencer, Unfired Guns Still Kill. You'll learn about new launch dates, new release dates, and you can even learn additional information about LaWanda and her writing style. You'll be able to learn about the LWBL mission and how you can help us grow. Find out how you can bring LaWanda to your stage with one of her 8 signature fully customizable programs using our fully functional booking page. Everything you need is right here at LaWanda Will B LaWanda.com.